Welcome to next lecture of compiler design. I am Dr. Parul Yadav, assistant professor at Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Institute of Engineering and Technology, Lucknow. Today's lecture is on LR0 items and LR0 automata. In today's class, we will discuss LR parser, LR0 items and LR0 automata. So, in previous class we have already talked about bottom up parsing and shift reduce parsing, and in shift reduce parsing at the end of the class we did the parsing based on a given grammar. So, this is the given grammar, that is E to E plus T or T, T to T multiplication F or F, then F to parenthesization of E and ID. Then we did the parsing for input string ID1 multiplication ID2, and for doing the parsing using bottom up approach in this particular scheme shift reduce parsing, we performed shift or reduce operation. Now see the scenario like this, here we have in stack dollar and then T, and here we have the input A, the configuration is like multiplication ID2 and dollar. So here if you remember that here we were having two choice for action to be performed, like here we can perform either shift operation or reduce operation, because here we have multiplication. So, it is quite possible that we can shift this multiplication into the stack, and second possibility is here we have T, and T could be our handle because T is lying at the right hand side of the production, and that can be reduced using head of the production. So, it is quite possible that here we can reduce T using production E to T. So, here we have to think, or here we have to find some logic which operation should be performed. So, for doing the action basically we can we need one parsing table as we had in predictive parser. So, we need some parsing table, and using the parsing table we want some strategy into it that can help us to select a particular action to be performed. So, the thing is we need to design a parsing table or some method for implementing shift reduce parser. So, for doing so we have LR parser. What is LR parser actually? LR parser it means LR, it is written like LRK. We can write it like LR also, I will explain it, LRK. So, here L stands for scanning input string from left to right, R stands for obtaining rightmost derivation in reverse, and K is some integer value, and it tells us that how many symbols, how many input symbols of look ahead we are using to make the parsing decision. So, for making the parsing decision, how many input symbols of look ahead we are using. So, this K can be equal to 0, it could be equal to 1, it can be greater than 1, it can hold any value. Generally we take that K is equal to 0 or 1, and by default if K is equal to 1, then in place of writing LR1 we usually write LR, right. So, this is LR parser, this is LR. Now, here we will discuss LR parser, and LR parser is basically this is a method for implementing shift reduce parsing. So, this is a method, and where we will find some way to do the parsing without backtracking. So, basically there are three types of LR parser. One is simple LR parser, second is canonical LR parser, and third is look ahead LR parser. So, first is simple LR parser. Simple LR parser, they are simplest to implement, but they cannot parse every LR grammars. So, this is not very powerful, it cannot parse every LR grammar, but they are easiest to implement. Second is canonical LR, they are most powerful LR parser. They can they can parse the wide range of the LR grammars, but they are expensive for implementation point of view. So, they are costly in terms of implementation. and LALR parser, they lies in terms of power, they lies in between LAR parser and canonical LR parser. They can parse more grammars than SLR parser, but less LR grammars than canonical LR parser. However, with certain constructs or some constructs, we can easily implement LALR parser also. So, basically there are three types of LR parser: SALR, canonical and LALR. Now, here we will look at the advantages and disadvantages of LR parser. So, LR parser can be constructed to recognize virtually all programming languages construct, for which context free grammars can be written. LR parser mean whole, SALR, canonical and LALR. Now, non-LR context free grammars exist, but they can generally be avoided by typical programming language constructs. Next is the LR parsing method is the most general non-backtracking shift reduce parsing method known, yet it can be implemented as efficiently as other more primitive shift reduce methods. Now, next is an LR parser can detect syntactic errors as soon as possible to do so on a left to right scan of the input string. So, as we are scanning the input string, at the time only we can find out where is the syntactic error. Now, the class of grammar that can be parsed using LR method is proper subset of class of grammar that can be parsed with predictive or LL methods. So, if we draw the Venn diagram, we can find that here we will have the LL methods or predictive parser or top down parser, and here we will have the LR grammars or LL grammars. So, this is the superset. So, LR grammars can describe more languages than LL grammars. The principal drawback of the LR method is that it is too much work to construct the LR parser by hand for a typical programming language grammar. So, for typical programming language we will find that by hand it is very difficult to construct, but if we will use some specialized tool or automated tool like YAC, if we use some automated tool, then we will find that they can be constructed very fast or very easy, very efficiently also. So, and these if we are using the automatic tools, like suppose here we have the automatic tool. So, the thing is the input to this will be the grammar and it will give you the output, the desired output, if the grammar is if the input is grammatically correct. So, here basically the YAC tool for the given grammar, it will give the in the output it will give the parsing table. So, that automated tool here input will be the grammar and it will give the parsing table. Now, it is quite possible that the grammar is unambiguous ambiguous grammar. So, if grammar is ambiguous, then that tool will automatically find the constructs and will give the user the detailed diagnostic messages. So, this is about the basics about the LR parser. Now, we will focus on LR0 items and LR0 automata. Why we are focusing, why we are studying LR0 items and automata? Actually, our motive is to design the parsing table, and for designing the parsing table, we need some ingredients. So, there are certain ingredients for designing the parsing table. They are like LR0 items. Then we will study, gradually we will study closure function and goto function, augmented grammar, and then we will obtain the automata, and using all these ingredients we will design the parsing table. While designing the parsing table, we will see that we will require first and follow function also. So, we will go step by step. So, first is LR0 item. So, an LR parser makes shift reduce decisions by maintaining states to keep track of where we are in the parse. So, it helps us to tell us the position at which location are we while doing the parsing. So, this is tell due to the states, and these states represent the set of items. Now, an LR0 item, or we can say item for short, right, of a grammar G is a production of G with a dot at some position of the body. So, here we are talking about LR0 item, and LR0 item is a production and some dot and dot at some place. So, an item indicates how much of the production we have seen at a given point in the parsing process. So, suppose we have the production A to X, Y, Z, and for this production we can obtain the items, LR0 items. So, this is the production and dot at some place. So, for this production we can design item like, suppose dot is here. So, we may have dot X, Y and Z. Now, next possibility of item, if dot is just after X. So, X to X dot Y Z. Next is A to X Y dot Z, and next is A to X Y Z and dot. So, these are the 4 possibilities of LR0 items for this particular production. So, what is LR0 item? It is production and one dot at some place. Now, this item tell us the production we have seen at the given point in the parsing process. So, here suppose we have the item that is A to X dot Y Z. So, what is the meaning? This indicates that we have just seen on the input string derivable from X, and we hope to next see the string derivable from Y Z. So, here we have the item like X, A to X dot Y Z. Here it says that we have just seen the input string derivable from X, and next we hope to see the string derivable from Y Z. Here in this item it tells, here we have just seen the string derivable from X, Y, and Z mean here we hope to get the string derivable from Z. Now, this says that we have just seen the string derivable from X, Y, Z, and now we may reduce X, Y, Z with A, because dot is at right end. And similarly here, if it is beginning, it means we hope to see string derivable from X, Y, Z, right. So, this is the LR0 item, possible LR0 item for this particular production. Now, production could be like this also, A to epsilon, then it will have only one item, that is A to dot, that is it. Now, if when we want to implement a program for it and we want to store this item into a computer system, then just to save this space, we can write it in terms of pair. So, there in pair there will be 2 members. First is the production number, and so here we will write the production number, and here we will write the position of dot. So, for example, this is first production. So, here we can write first, and suppose item is this. So, here we can write the position of dot. So, suppose it is 0, 1, 2, 3. So, suppose this is 1. So, here we can write 1. So, this saves just to save the space. So, this is about the general concept of LR0 items. This is known as LR0 items. So, here we construct a simple LR parser for a grammar if such parser exists. We construct DFA for the grammar, group items together into sets which give rise to states of an LR parser. Then one collection of set of items known as canonical LR0 collections. So, here we will obtain LR0 item, and when we will group all LR0 items, we will get the LR0 collections. This is also known as canonical LR0 collections. It provides the basis for constructing the class of LR parser called as simple LR parser. So, using this we will obtain the simple LR parser. For doing so, we will obtain the augmented grammar, and we will obtain compute two functions, closure and goto, and we will obtain LR parsing table from the DFA. So, the idea is that for the given grammar, we will obtain augmented grammar, then we will calculate go to closure and go to function for the items, then we will draw the DFA, that is called the LR0 automata, and using the DFA we will construct the parsing table. In today's class we will see the process up to here, we will construct the parsing table. In next class we will see, in today's class we will see the process to construct LR0 automata. In next class we will learn how to obtain LR parsing table from automata and then to do the parsing. So, here today's class we will discuss all the ingredients. Now, first is the augmented grammar. Now, suppose there is a grammar capital G and in start symbol of the grammar is capital S. Now, from S we can obtain an augmented grammar G prime. So, how we will obtain? In G prime we will introduce a new start symbol S prime, and for S prime we will add a production S prime to S. So, there is a grammar G and its start symbol is S and it may have its S productions. Now, we will obtain augmented grammar, it is called as G prime and start symbol for this is S prime, and here we will add one production, that is S prime to S. So, and then we will write all productions of grammar G. So, this is known as augmented grammar. The purpose of this new starting production is to indicate to the parser when should we stop the parsing and when should we announce the successful completion of the parsing based on the input string. So, that is acceptance occurs when and only the parser is reduced about it is reducing S to S prime. So, whenever S is reduced to S prime, then parser can announce a successful completion of parsing. So, for doing so we get the augmented grammar. Now, we will see one example. Now, suppose this is a grammar capital G and in start symbol for this is capital E. Now, for this grammar we can obtain the grammar G prime, and suppose that start symbol of this grammar is E prime. Now, in augmented grammar we will introduce a new production from start symbol of this grammar to start symbol of this grammar, that is E prime to E. Now, we will write all productions of this grammar as it is. So, here we will write E to E plus T or T, then we will write T productions, T to T multiplication F or F, then we will write F productions, that the F to parenthesization of E and ID. So, this is called this is a process of obtaining augmented grammar. Now, next is objective is to know closure function. So, closure means just here see the process. So, it has broadly it has two steps. First is initially add every item in I to closure I. I is what? This is the LR0 item, right. So, the set this is I. So, whatever in I we will add in closure of I. So, the item that is lying in I, that will be copied in closure of I. Now, second if A to alpha B beta is in closure of I. So, this is LR0 item, this is production and dot is after alpha. So, if it is in closure of I and there is a production. So, this is B where B to gamma is a production. So, B is a non-terminal and there is a production B to gamma. Then we will add item B to dot gamma, mean we will put dot at left end, at extreme left end. So, B to dot gamma will be added into closure of I if it is not already there. Now, apply this rule until no more new item can be added to closure of I. Here we have the procedure for this also. Set of items closure of I, j is equal, first we will initialize it j with I. Now, we will repeat for each item A in for each item A to alpha dot B beta in j. Now, for each production B to gamma of G, if B to dot gamma is not in j, then we will add B to dot gamma into j and will keep it until no more item can be added to j. So, then we will return, finally we will return j. So, this is the method of obtaining closure. Now, we will apply this on one example. Here I have just copied these two steps because here we will apply it. So, here we assume that here we have I is the set of one item, that is E prime to dot E. So, this is one set of item, and basically this production and dot is here, right, simple item. Now, we will obtain closure of this I. So, closure of I definition according to first rule, here we can write all the items. So, first is E prime to dot E. So, according to first rule, add every item in I to closure of I, mean whatever in an I, that will be copied in closure of I. So, I has E prime to dot E. So, that will be copied in closure of I. Now, next is here we will see add more items into it if there is possibility. So, we will see what is just after dot. So, just right to dot, just immediate right to dot, we have capital E, and E is a non-terminal. Now, we are forced to look at E productions. E production has two alternates, E plus T and T. So, we will write E productions, we will write items with respect to E productions with dot at left end. So, here we will write E2 dot E plus T, second will be dot T. Now, here what we observe, that just right to dot we have capital E, right. We will obtain closure for every new item that we added in closure of I. So, dot E, and so this is E, we have already written E productions. Now, here we have dot T. Now, we are forced to add items with respect to T productions. So, how we will add? Productions are T2, T multiplication F. So, here we will write dot at extreme left. Now, next is dot F. So, just after dot we have T, but we have already added T productions, item corresponding to T productions. Next is F. So, here we will look at F productions. So, this is this and this. So, here we will add the items like this. Now, just after just right immediate right to dot we have opening parenthesis, and here we have ID dot ID, these are the terminals. So, no, there is no more items can be added into this set. So, this is the process of obtaining closure of particular item. Now, next is kernel or non-kernel item. So, kernel item is what? The initial item S prime to dot S, and the all items whose dot are not at the left end, right. So, the item S prime to S dot, what is this is dot S mean? This is the start symbol or start non-terminal of augmented grammar, and this is the start symbol of original grammar. So, if initial item this and all items whose dot are not at the left end, so that are the kernel items. Non-kernel item mean all items with their dot at left end except S prime to dot S. So, this is known as non-kernel item. So, if you look at this example, here we can see that E prime to this is the kernel item, and all the items where dot is at left end, for example, here they all are non-kernel items, they are not non-kernel items. So, here this is kernel item and these all are the non-kernel item. Now, each set of items of interest is formed by taking the closure of the set of kernel items. The items added in the closure can never be kernel items. So, whenever we add some item into the set due to particular item, that will be the non-kernel item, that can never be kernel item. So, thus we can represent the set of items we are really interested in with a very little storage. If we throw away on non-kernel item by knowing that we could regenerate it by the closure process. So, in order to save the space, we can just write the kernel item for this particular closure. right, because rest of the items of this closure sets are derived from the kernel item. So, if we have the production and the kernel item, we can complete the closure set. So, the kernel item carries this importance. Now, next is the goto function. Now, goto function is the goto I comma x. This is a function that takes two parameters. This is I, the item, and x is this one, the symbol, grammar symbol, is defined to be the closure of the set of all items like this, such that a to alpha dot x beta is in I. Now, the goto function is used to define the transitions in LR0 automata for the grammar. This function is used to define the transitions. Closure function is used to define the states, and goto function is used to define the transitions. We know that we will draw the automata. So, this function will help us to tell the transition. The states of automata corresponds to the set of items, and goto I comma x specifies a transition from the state for I under input x. So, mean it will be like this, that this is I, particular I, and for x it will show you what should be the next state. So, states, we studied closure to get the states, and we are studying goto function to know the transition, mean for particular symbol to which state should we move. So, now this is the example for goto function. We have the augmented grammar. Now, suppose I is equal to this, it has two items, E prime to E dot, second is E to E dot plus T, right, these two items are there. So, we need to obtain goto function. So, goto, here we are obtaining goto for I comma plus, suppose we are obtaining this. So, here there are two items. In this item we will look at the symbol, I will look for the item where we have plus just after the dot. So, in this particular item there is no plus after the dot. So, this is of no use for this particular goto function. Now, here E to E dot plus T. Now, this plus is just after the dot. So, for this item we will apply this function. So, what we will do in goto, for this item we will shift this dot right to plus, right to plus. So, E to E plus dot T, we will obtain this. Now, because this is a new item, so we will obtain closure for every new item, every obtained new item. So, we know the process, just after dot, immediate right to dot we have T, and T is a non-terminal. So, we are forced to see the T productions. T productions are these. Now, T production, for T productions we will add the basically non-kernel items over here. So, we will write the item for first T production, mean dot T multiplication F, then dot F. Now, here we have just write to dot F. Now, we will have items with respect to F productions by putting dot at extreme left of the production. So, dot this part and dot ID. So, this is the method of obtaining goto. So, till now we discussed how to obtain augmented grammar, how to calculate or obtain closure, and how to obtain the goto function. Now, next we will discuss construction of canonical collection of set of LR0 items. So, we know what is LR0 item, and we will find the collection of LR0 item, and that collection is actually canonical collection of set of LR0 items. So, here this is the procedure for obtaining. First is void items G prime, this is augmented grammar, and such collection is taken in C. C is the collection for this set of LR0 items. So, suppose one is I1, I2, or suppose I0, I3 and all, In. So, this is one LR0 set of LR0 item, this is another set of LR0 item, and these are all LR0 items. So, we have this set, a name to this set is, this is called as collection of or canonical collection of set of LR0 items. So, objective is to obtain C. So, here we will repeat the process for each item I in C and for each grammar symbol X. So, for each item in I and for each grammar symbol X. So, we will use the go to I X. If it is not empty and not in C, then we will add it to C, and we will repeat this process until no new item can be added to C. So, we will do it for every item and for every symbol X. Now, we will obtain the LR0 items. So, here we have this I0 as we obtained in previous case. Now, using this we can obtain the next item. So, what is the idea? We will see what is the next non-terminal, next symbol, what is the next symbol, what is the symbol immediate right to dot. So, here we have capital E. So, we will write the go to transition for it. So, we will shift this dot after E. Similarly, we will shift this dot after E, and after dot there is nothing. So, no more item can be added. Similarly, after dot is terminal, so nothing can be added. Similarly, here we see that here just right to dot we have T. So, here we will write the go to for T. So, this is go to for E and this is go to for T. So, here we will write after shifting T mean this is for T, right, this is not for T. So, here E to T dot and then T to T dot multiplication F, right. Now, after this we have multiplication, so no more item can be added. So, here we obtain all, similarly we can obtain all the LR0 items and we can construct the automata like just after dot we have E. So, for E we can get I1, just after dot we have T. So, with respect to T we can get I2. Similarly, just after dot we have F. So, we can write the F I3, and similarly we can complete this automata. So, this is all for this class. Thank you.